Let's talk liquid soaps. So last year I tested several different recipes. The Tallow foaming liquid soap is where I landed. I've had Tallow products probably 9 or 10 years, but I'd never considered putting them in liquid soap until last year. I'm so glad I did. The foaming versus the non-foaming is where I was at. The pros and cons. The non-foaming Tallow soap, I liked those bottles better. That triangle, like foamer bottle, I never liked those. They're very dated in my opinion, and I just didn't want them. That was a real big con for the foaming soaps. The con for the non-foaming soap is because I use Crothix to thicken my soaps. I've tried salt, it didn't work. HEC, I think I even have some of that. I don't understand how to use it. And so Crothix for me was just the easiest thing to use. It's just a thickener. I get it from Brambleberry. The problem with that Crothix is it is too expensive. So another con to the foamer side of things is the bottles are much more expensive than the standard bottles that you can buy with the little pump. It's not the bottles that are expensive, it's the pump top that becomes expensive. Well, then I did a comparison. The triangle bottles versus the Crothix price, my out-of-pocket cost is pretty much the same. So using the Crothix just in the end was more trouble than I felt like it was worth, and I didn't want to have to keep buying it. So then it became, what bottle am I going to use? Because I just didn't like those bottles. I wanted something a little bit more modern. I really wanted a square foamer. And then I thought of Nature Packaged. I really like the packaging items that I get from Nature Packaged, and they have round foamer bottles, and so that's what I bought. It probably made my Crothix to foamer bottle comparison a little lopsided because these are more expensive than the triangle bottles that I was using previously, but I don't care. I will eat into my profit for ease and how quick it is. Oh, really quickly, this recipe is kind of a take off the Ultimate Guide to Liquid Soap. I bought that ebook years ago. I will link that down in the description. I will not be able to share this recipe with you. This is the orange recipe. I cannot remember the name of it. It's the one that uses red palm oil. All I did is I 100% swapped the palm oil for the tallow. That's the only difference I made. Otherwise, the recipe is exactly the same. If you are interested in any sort of liquid soap, I highly recommend that ebook. A lot of knowledge gained. This is water and glycerin. This is my sodium lactate. I have some sugar, and I have my 2 lyes here. So this is a dual lye liquid soap recipe. My crock pot is on high, but I do heat my oils in the microwave because it takes so long for these oils to get as hot as I need in the crock pot alone. And this is all it takes to make a wonderful liquid soap. So 216, so that's perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get them in my crock pot here. Oops. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on. Let that stay again on high while I get my lye water in my water here, my lye in my water solution. I'm going to go kind of slow but kind of fast, if that makes sense. Probably not. I want to go slow enough that I know that everything's getting dissolved. I want to go fast enough that it retains the heat. I don't want this to cool off too much. So this is a 30-minute process, and so starting with your oils and your lye water hot helps that process. I also have some residual soap in my crock pot from the last time I made soap. I didn't wash it out. That is another thing that I learned that will help that 30-minute process. It just starts the saponification process and keeps that going a little bit quicker. And with such a large batch, I'm afraid it's going to take a lot longer to do all of this. 80 ounces of oil. So I shouldn't have any trouble with my stick blender in this much oil. I've always had to bump up my batch size to make my stick blender work, and my oblong, I think this is a 7 quart slow cooker. That is very hot at 216. That's kind of perfect, isn't it? All right, let me get this. How hot? We dropped to about 190. So sodium lactate, and then my sugar. I just want to make sure it's kind of no clumpy. And then in with the lye water. Oh, it's so full, guys. Look how full that is. Can you see? It's like 1.5 inches from the top. Such a big batch. All right, and then in with my stick blender. Now, I don't have Alexa anymore in here. My Wi-Fi got changed and I never have figured out how to get her back on it. So I'm going to grab my phone maybe and start a stopwatch so I can tell where we're at. My cord on my stick blender is very short. Let me get you over here so you can kind of see. I'll try to frame this in a little bit. I'm going to turn it up a little bit too. One minute. Two. 3. 4. Wow. Creamy. Look at that. I love this. So awesome. I'm going to go about 30 seconds more, but that took exactly 4 minutes. All right, that is 4.5 exactly. And I think that is perfect. Hot? That's hot. All right, so I'm going to let it cook for a few minutes. It's a big batch size, so I may let it cook for full 5 minutes. 30-minute process, maybe. For me, it's a couple days because I think I've shared with this before, but I'm sorry. If you're new here, you may not have seen this. But I will just let the water and the soap paste dissolve naturally without a whole lot of effort on my part. That was so fast. 80 ounces of soap paste will give me almost 350 ounces of soap. So that's a lot of soap. I'm very excited. It's been about 5.5 minutes probably. Let's see what we got. Oh, we're still pretty liquid. It's probably because it's such a large batch. This, you can see my purple through the soap. So it is a clear paste. That is something that tells me that it is done cooking. I'm going to turn it off. And I brought just this. I had this upstairs because I was making pizza sauce and I wanted to test the pH of my tomatoes. So I had to go get it. And I had to add a little lemon juice to my tomatoes. All right, so we are right around 9. The edges look like it might be closer to 10. So I would say 9.5, perfect for a liquid soap. And I really don't do that very often. I'm just doing that for you guys, but I know I've made this soap enough to know that we're good at this stage. That'll probably be fully pasted by the time it cools and oops, all of that tomorrow, but I'm not messing with this again tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on and just let it cool naturally in the pot. It is the next day. I made 144 ounces of paste in that batch. I think I'm gonna go ahead and purchase more potassium hydroxide because I don't have enough to do another big batch like this, but I would love to have this on my shelf. So lots of math notes and figuring. I need 27 ounces of paste and I'm gonna add 48 ounces of water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put this, I don't know if that's gonna fit. Let me get a bigger one. And I have my scale on the back counter. I'm just gonna go quickly put a glove on and measure out 27 ounces of the paste in here. And just to show you the consistency, it's just very, I don't know, like, that's the consistency. So it's difficult to grab. You really have to get your fingers going and dig to get any of that out of there. All right. Now I'm going to add, 48 ounces of water to that. All right, it's been in the microwave maybe 5 minutes total. I've stirred it in between and I still have quite a bit of soap paste in here. I think I'm not going to try to force it. It's about 110 degrees. I'm just going to let it sit here and do its thing. It's not going to happen tonight probably. And I think it's just because I'm out of my liquid soap and I want it for myself. And that's why I'm forcing it. But I'm going to set that aside and we'll come back maybe tomorrow and see if that soap paste has dissolved. I just left it last night and walked away, and I came back tonight and I think there was a couple spots that were not dissolved. So I heated it for a few minutes and I added a little bit of water. Maybe 2 ounces, and most of those spots are gone. There's just a tiny bit of those undissolved soap paste still in here floating around. I do want the last of those little soap paste to dissolve. It's either going to be water or heat. See, there's a big piece right there. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of soap paste right there. That's the biggest piece I think I have. So I think since I've already added a couple ounces of water, I'm going to just put this in the microwave 2 or 3 minutes to get it warm, and then we will add color and fragrance. 3 minutes in the microwave did the trick, and it is a little bit more clear even now. So the first thing I want to do is use my fragrance oil just to see if this is going to do anything to the soap itself. I'm going about 1.65% of fragrance oil. For a liquid soap, I think anywhere between 1 to 3% is fine. I don't want to make this overpowering. It's definitely cloudy, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that lemon verbena, this is what I'm using from Flaming Candle, this will clear right back up. Not a problem. I'm not too worried about it. I do also have a yellow liquid dye, water soluble colorant. You can use dye powder all day long. You don't have to buy the liquid for these. I don't think I've used the dye powder with no problem, but since I have it, I might as well use it. And I'm going to start with 2 drops and see how that works for me. It takes more of these liquid drops because they are so diluted. If I was to use the dry dye, like yellow 5, it would take the smallest amount of that dye powder to color this. I think that's 6. I don't really notice much difference. This is why I don't like these things very much. I find them hard to use. There's 10. There, I'm seeing a bit of a yellow tone now. So I'm going to go up to 15 and let's see what we get. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think it's just a nice yellow color. 99% rubbing alcohol will disperse those bubbles and let you have a good visual. So this is how the packaging comes. It's very well protected, and it's got lots of foam around it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's foam on the bottom as well. I definitely will take this foam upstairs and use that in my orders that I send out that needs a little, excuse me, needs a little protection. So my distilled water test was about 10.75. This is going to weigh differently than that. And I know that this is a ml thing, you know. Let's do it this way. Let's just see what we've got here. I'm going to take one of these and just make sure I'm not getting too, I think I'm going to go up to 11. This one is mine. I have been waiting for this for so long. Oh, this is still warm a little bit actually, so I'm going to just do that so that's not completely causing any sort of condensation. I don't think it's warm enough to do that, but just in case. I'm going to take an empty jug and tear it so I can see how much I have in here. 10.4. I don't have enough. Oh shoot. What I will do is I'll short me so I can get another full bottle. That just makes the most sense financially. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lemon verbenas for my table for a couple weeks when I go to my next show and for my website. I did go ahead and put my lavender fragrance oil in here. I'm using Candle Science Lavender. It's one of my favorite lavenders. And I'm going to try to make a purple. So blue and red, right? Let's see what I can do here. 1, 2, 3. I think purple is more red than blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is actually pink, but you know, it is what it is. I feel like I've tried this before and I didn't get very far with it. It's a very dingy gray. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if I can pink it up a little bit before we turn it purple. Actually, this is actually pretty nice. Let me put my, yeah. I do believe it will get clearer, but I think that's not a bad purple at all. So what, 8 drops of the red and 3 of the blue was just about right. I'm going to get these filled up and then get my next batch cooking away. I'm just probably going to do one every night throughout the week. The room in here is a mess. I can't do anything but this right now, and that's okay because it's a work week, right? It's through the week. This is about all I'm going to do. We are moving along. Another night, another soap, another scent, I should say. I'm going to be doing white vanilla. This is called white vanilla or white velvet. It's a vanilla scent from Black Tie Burn. I don't have a whole lot of this. It's pretty strong. I'm going to keep that on the fairly lower side. More, I've been doing about 1.5 ounces, or I'm sorry, 1.5%. So I think just shy of that maybe. I think vanilla can just be so overpowering. And I Googled how to make a brown. And how you make a brown is red, blue, and yellow, I think, equal parts. So we're going to start. I'm going to shake up all of these things. I don't know if they need shaken or not, but we're shaking. And let's see if we can make a brown. So I'm going to do 2 drops of red, 2 drops of yellow, which is already yellow, so maybe that'll help too, and 2 drops of blue. Let's see if we get brown. We have an ugly green. We have an ugly, ugly green. I'm going to do 2 drops of blue. It's kind of a lavender. Oh no, that's a pink. So that's my pink or red. This is my blue. I'm going to do another 2 drops of that. And because the base is so yellow, I'm not going to add any more yellow. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's not awful. It's kind of gray. Did I just ruin my vanilla? It's very gray looking. I don't know how to get it to go more brown and less gray. I wish I could ask your guys' opinion. It almost looks like if it was a little bit deeper, it would be a better brown. Because I know the last one on the purple, I had to add quite a bit. I'm just going to go ahead and put some yellow in here just because. I don't want to go overboard. I want to add 2 more of the pink, and let's just see what it does to this. I think it's a little bit better. I'm second guessing myself. I don't want to go too dark. That would be not a fun thing. So I think I'm going to call it. It's not the prettiest color, but it's a vanilla scent, and vanilla is what I got right there, maybe. We're going to call it good. I just feel like weight is so much more exact, and I feel more confident in what I'm doing here with weighing them, even though I know this is a volume measurement. But I already have my volume figured out. My correct volume is 11 ounces. That's what I'm going with. Just enough in that picture. I weighed it out perfectly for this. All right, guys, I am going to take these upstairs, get my next batch going and dissolving overnight. I think I came down here after work today and added, or maybe this morning, can't remember now, but I added like 2 ounces of water to get that soap paste dissolved. And she was fine by the time I got back to it. And actually, the more I look at that, the more I really like that color. And I'm pretty sure it's going to clear up. Every fragrance oil is different. Some fragrances won't clear at all. And even if it didn't, I wouldn't be mad because I think that looks actually kind of perfect. I'm pleasantly surprised and happy with how this color turned out. And I'm actually really glad I didn't go any darker. I honestly don't know if I've shared this with you or this part of it because I've been turning on the camera off and on so many times, but I just put 23.4 of my paste in my pitcher and I just topped that off with 43.6 ounces of water, and I'm leaving it right here overnight. I'm done for the night. I'll take these up so I can get them labeled. By tomorrow, this should be almost completely dissolved, and if I have to add a couple ounces of water in the morning, I will. And it's dissolved and that's done, and I'm ready for tomorrow night. It is the next day. So this one is going to be Sea Salt and Lily, one of my favorite liquid soap scents I've ever made, and I really thought about making a bigger batch of this because this scent is so popular. I'm going to do 1 ounce of fragrance oil. It's just such a sweet scent, guys. I'm going to make a bar soap with this very soon. And so I can have a bar soap and a liquid soap, maybe as a set. And I would like to make this one green. So I'm going to start with some blue. And maybe 2 drops. I don't use this liquid dye very often, so I'm just not familiar with how much to use. That's actually almost perfect. I'm going to put 1 more blue drop in here. And the reason I don't have to add the yellow is because we're starting with a yellow base. I have my yellow here in case I felt like I needed it, but I think the yellow soap base with a little bit of blue dye has made a beautiful green color. I probably should have stopped at 2 drops, but I'm going to be okay with the 3. We are on to my last soap to make. And this one I am using Ocean Breeze from Candle Science. I already have everything weighed out in here. I was going to make another big batch, but I think it just made so much. I'm not sure that I want to have that much liquid soap on my shelf at any one time. But I haven't decided yet. And then the question, 2 drops of blue, by the way. The question is, do I go ahead and dissolve the soap paste and store it in these jugs? Because these are nice and solid, these jugs here. This may take a little bit because this is going to be green. And I need it to look different than the sea salt and orchid, right? So I'm going to do another couple. Gosh, this is going to look exactly the same. I wonder if I added a little red, if that would blue it up a little bit. Which I just have this pink here, but it's close enough to red. I don't want it to be purple, but this is just going to get darker and darker green. I don't think that did much. I don't like that. Ugh, guys. That's 2, 4, 5, 6. That's about 7 drops of blue altogether. I have my box. I've had this thing forever. And this is blue dye. So this is just pure dye. So I'm going to take a nice clean rod and just, I mean, barely. I don't know if you can see that. There's not much on there. I'm trying to find a good spot for you to see that. It's just barely on that rod. It's definitely darker green. Maybe one more time. If it wasn't looking so similar to that other one I just made, I wouldn't be fighting this so much. Alright. Regardless, this is good. I'm not going to put any more in here. That is the color it's going to be. Alright, the story of my life. My battery died. But I can't even remember what I was saying. I have those 6 big bottles filled. Now I'm filling the smaller bottles. These are for the Soap of the Month Club. I was going to do Sea Salt and Lily for the Soap of the Month Club, and then I realized I think that's what I did last time I did a liquid soap. So I wanted to do something different. And I think 1.7 is about as high as I'm going to be able to do. I could probably go up a little bit, actually. Never mind. Let me go up just a little bit so it looks nice and full. That's 1.85. I had planned to make 16. I'll probably only get 15 of them. And these are just the cutest things. I do kind of have to take the lid off and just tighten it up just like that, because the lid on the bottles doesn't tighten very well. One more thing I wanted to point out before I shut you down is this is very clear right away. So a lot of my other scents were pretty cloudy until like the next day. This is perfectly clear right away. So it's just your fragrance wheel can play differently like that. I'm an ounce off of my last one. So I do want to have at least 15. So I will have to go down to maybe 1.75, 1.65. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the lid off and adjust as much as I can and still have a decent full bottle. I think if I do like 0.5 out of all of this, maybe I'll be close to getting the full 15 bottles that I really want to have. So So I'm going to go to 175 and see what this one ends up being. All right, 175 was the magic number to give me the 15, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Golly, dang it. All right, 14. Dang it. Oh, man. Dang it, guys. Well, if I have more than 14 subscribers that month, then I have this. I can make up another little batch and I'll be fine. I'm just frustrated with myself because I worked so hard at that and then I did this. Let me know down below if you were at all surprised about this. Let's see, which order did I make these in? I think I made the lemon verbena first. Look how clear that is. Look at these bottles. They are so pretty. They are bigger than I think I would want, but this is kind of a massive foamer. And so I think it needs a big bottle to make it look proportionate. I have this at my kitchen. I love it. Then what did I make? I don't remember. Maybe lavender. I can't remember. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's the lavender. Clear as all get out. I think the purple ended up being really, really pretty. I'm happy with every color I made. It's so good. Velvet vanilla. This is actually, it's clear. You won't be able to pick it up on the camera probably, especially with my light. It's a perfect color. It's a great brown. I'm very happy with this one too. And then my two greens. Gosh darn it. There is sea salt and lily. I think I said sea salt and orchid a couple times in the video, but I hope you guys knew what I meant. Beautiful soap. Favorite soap. This is so good. The scent. Guys, have I made it yet? No, it's been on my counter to make this soap, a bar soap, for about a month. So hopefully I can get to it this weekend. And then lastly, Ocean Breeze. It's a little bit of a teal. So here's my two colors back to back. So not too bad, considering I was having so much trouble with that yellow base, trying to get this to be blue. Not too bad. And they're super clear, if that's important to you. All the fragrance oils cleared right up. I am super happy with these guys. I love them. I've not made the second batch yet, but I think I will. And I'll probably just put that paste in a bag and just set it on my shelf until I need it. Part of me doesn't want to do that, and then part of me thinks it's a lot easier to store that than a bunch of water, liquid soap. I may just make up a couple of those big things unscented, and that way I can have some ready to go. Might do that. We'll see. I'm in no hurry. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm sure this is a long one. I know I went through an awful lot with you. So I just appreciate your time. I appreciate you hanging, and maybe I will see you next week. Bye.